Hello, this is my informative speech, and the topic I've chosen is women in the military. I'm sure you're all aware of this topic. Women have been a vital resource to the U.S. during wartime since the Revolutionary War. Over time, these roles have expanded and changed, and attitudes towards these roles have shifted. Now I'm going to tell you what I've learned. I'm going to cover three main points. Roles women have played in the U.S. military throughout history, how society's attitudes towards these roles have changed and shifted. And lastly, we're going to talk about women and the draft. First, I'm going to tell you about the roles women have played in the U.S. military throughout history. Before World War I, women were not allowed to join the military. They served as nurses and cooks in military hospitals. They took over jobs at home left open by men who were deployed by war, and a few women fought in combat by disguising themselves as men and using aliases. During the last 2 years of World War I, women were finally allowed to join the military. During World War II, 400,000 women served, all in non-combat roles. In 1973, the draft ended and an all-volunteer military was established, opening up new opportunities for women. The Persian Gulf War was the first time women were deployed into combat zones. In 2015, the Pentagon announced that all combat jobs would now be open to women. I've given you a history of women in the military. Now I'm going to tell you how society's attitudes towards these roles have changed. Old attitudes were that as women were not as capable as men. Also, that women's role was at home to take care of the home and children while men fought in wars. Old battle techniques had clearly drawn front lines, and it was easy to keep women and support staff behind these lines. After World War II, new attitudes emerged. Modern weapons blurred the front lines, and all of a sudden, all soldiers were at risk. Ideas about gender role in the family had changed. It was not solely women's work to take care of the home and children anymore. During the Gulf War, 40,000 women served in combat roles. In recent years, there's been a lot of talk about women being required to join the draft. First, I'm going to tell you what the draft is. It was established in 1940 by the Selective Service and Training Act. It requires that most male citizens and aliens register with the Selective Service by the age of 18. Next, I'm going to tell you about the cons for women being required to join the draft. Some people say that there are already enough men and that it's not necessary for women to register. Also, that women are not as physically capable as men. In tests run by the Marines, women performed lower in all overall categories. Now the pros for women being required to register for the draft. There would be more people to draft during wartime if it became necessary. The old policy is unfair to men, as they're the only ones required to register. Also, women are already allowed in all combat jobs, so they have already been proven capable. For my conclusion, I'm going to recap what we've learned today. We've learned how women's roles in the military have changed throughout history, how society's attitudes towards these roles have changed, and we talked about women in the draft. I hope you all have a better understanding of how women got where they are in the military today. All women may not want to serve in the military, but it's important that they all now have that option.